All right, guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do a big one. This is 0 Hour 30th Anniversary Special from DC Comics, covered by Dan Jurgens and Jerry Ordway. This is a wraparound cover. And yeah, I picked this up because, well, everything that I read about this spoke to me. And right off the bat, if you grew up in the 90s when it comes to comics, this book is for you. And yes, I cannot believe I say this, because this is a modern comic, well, sort of, and I recommend it. Now, the reason why I recommend it is because these guys are involved. And if you are, like me, you probably almost recognize all of them, because these are the legends that created fantastic 90s comics, among others, of course, Green Lantern, the 0 Hour event. Dan Jurgens did a lot. Tom Grummett did a lot. So yeah, that's the only reason that I picked this up, and it was completely worth it. The weird thing is that this is, happened before issue number 8 of the Green Lantern series in the 2024, the new series, volume 7. And I thought, wait a minute, I thought this was happening after the 0 Hour. So for those who do not know what 0 Hour actually is, it was an event that connects or streamlined the Crisis on the Infinite Earth. And this event reconnects the continuity, because it was a mess back then. Fun fact, they failed. It didn't work. But, I still find the 0 Hour event very, very fun. So this is in the now, and it's cool to see Kyle Rayner again. And he is on another planet, and Wally comes in. And Wally says that, it's collapsing. The world is dying. And Cal here just wants to get him out, but he's been sucked in. And so we see all different artists and creators doing their part in this book, and that what make it work. And it's not perfect, but yeah, okay. So Cal comes here. He's on Earth, and there's a statue of Batman, gone but not forgotten. And so Wally saves him, and then we have Validus from the 31st century, because, well, he is one of the Fatal Five. He has this brain electrical power, and he's incredibly strong, right? He says, but Cal is confused. He doesn't know what to do, and he says, hey, can you tell me what's going on? And he also established that he's friends with Wally, but Wally says, what are you talking about? I don't even know you. And what is a Green Lantern? All right, and that should have said everything when it comes to Cal's, questions, but Cal is, almost being killed. But then Wally saves him, and getting struck by Validus' mind blast. And then Farrak of the Fatal Five comes in, attacks Kyle. But, what I like about Kyle's powers, well, ring powers, is that he is very creative, because he's an artist. So he's using a lot of, creative stuff to create constructs. So these two are retreating, but the damage is done, and Wally is dying, and he says, "Save my kids! Don't let Earth die." And he doesn't know what's going on. So what the hell is happening, right? And then we go to another artist, and right off the bat, this is Kelly Jones, and you know what I think about Kelly Jones. He's one of my all-time favorites. Now, I must say, not sure his. I like his Batman work, by the way, right? He tried to off some goons, but then Batgirl comes in. But what I'm trying to say is, I'm not sure if he's, fit for this. Maybe I'm wrong, right? I thought there was other 90s creators that are, helping this book create, but Kelly Jones is fantastic. Anyway, so she defeats him. And she talks about Commissioner Grayson, right? So this is another Earth. And so Cal comes in. He says, what the hell is happening here? He says, who are you? What you did to the Flash? Oh, my God, real? It's you, Wally. This maniac murdered you. A little bit of weird dialogue here. He says, I did not kill him. I tried to save him, he says. Validus did this. Don't you recognize me, Berkel? I'm Green Lantern. I have no idea who you are. But she says, hey, I know my friend is dead. And there's reports of pockets of reality being erased, right? And so she put one and one together and, blames in. And he says, where's Batman? Bruce will know me. Keep his name out of your mouth. Uh-oh. All right. So he had enough, and he creates a bubble around her and says, you coming with me? There's a lot of, small details like Easter eggs. For those who do not know, back in the 80s or 90s, he was flying some kind of a Batcopter, and without the rotors, of course, but he made a construct for her. And then go to Wayne Manor, by the way. He also says that here, you ride on the whirly bat. And maybe he's on patrol. He's not out of patrol, you idiot. So Bruce comes in, and he is, he's a broken man, because in this reality, Bane broke his back and he never recovered. He says, but he could better. He's Batman again. Kyle, don't you still know you are in a different reality? How could you not know with all of the signs, idiot? Anyway, he says, hey, Bruce, you recognize me, right? I never set eyes on you in my life. What? This isn't you. The Bruce Wayne I know would never give up like this. He says, give up? I can help you. I can't help anyone. He says, get out of my house. Has the whole world gone insane? So, what's this all about, Barbara? I'm not sure, but one of us is dead, and this Green Lantern has something to do with it. I need to make a call. I think I know where he might be going next. By the way, $10, 80 pages. Maybe I forgot to say that. All right, so we go to Coast City, but there's also some flying contraption here, or looks like a city, but it's not. All right, so Coast City probably is the home of the Green Lantern, Hal Jordan. And we have the Fatal Five here, basically reporting to, come on, this is PARALLAX, right? It's not really a secret. So he says, a ring that could create anything. I don't know where he came from, but he's a wild card. Persuader, Mono, Validus, Emerald, Empress, and me. We're the sole survivors of the timeline. So basically, there's some kind of a destruction going on when timelines are being erased. And they were the ones, escaping by taking the Legion's time bubble and came to this area. And then they are meeting with Hal here. And he says, we were arrived here. You came to us and we agreed to work together. So you tell us, how do we stop this? And what about the one with the ring? Can he be useful? He seemed like you. Like me? He held his own against Validus. He could make literally anything with his ring's energy. So he says, you have to be dealt with. All right. And then we go to another place in this pocket universe, because that's what it is. Kyle wants to reach out to Superman, but then Supergirl comes in. And he says, Batgirl reached out, warned you that you might be showing up in Metropolis. So, hey, nice to see you, but where's Superman? And she says, you looking for Superman? Yeah, but I'm happy to see you too. Are you the one responsible for the Oblivion effect that's been spreading? He says, I have no idea what you're talking about. And she says, if you're going to make demands, you picked the wrong person. And he thinks, why does everybody here punch first and ask questions later? So there's a fight between superheroes, which I like. And I also like this, a little bit throwback from, the Superman cartoons when he fights, these kind of robots. Very fun. But, Supergirl's unreasonable here. And then we see that Superman statue that he's dead at the hands of Doomsday. But that's not what happened. I'm in some place different. It has to be it. But duh. Anyway, so Supergirl comes in and she says, we have a dead hero and reality starting to decay everywhere, which means you be taken out. Doesn't make any sense. I mean, why would you? Anyway, doesn't matter. But he says, how many times do I have to tell you I didn't kill Wally? And but then like I said, he's using his powers in a very fun way. So he says, back up, give me some space here. But then the Ray comes and says, the Ray? Seriously? Batgirl has a lot of numbers. I don't think you want any of this, kid. Don't make me spank you. But then he says, you think that's energy? This is energy. Now, we all know that Ray is a D-lister. And he had his own series, by the way. I haven't checked that out, but I like that he has a moment to shine because of doing this, he actually takes out Kyle, which is it's a fun segment here, right? It's not always the same suspects that are uber powerful. I mean, I like that the Ray is doing this, and I like this panel. That Kyle is falling down with the smoke behind him. Is really well done. But then there's a lasso around him, and oh no, it's Donna Troy, and Jerry Ordway is taking over the art now. It's her, Donna Troy, Wonder Girl, somebody I fell in love with. So he says, I'm getting the ideas. This is a long shot, but if you recognize Donnie, please tell me who I am. How do you know my name? She doesn't know you. None of us do. I know you because we've known each other for years. We even dated for a while, at least where I come from. And he says, I met her so soon after Alex. Well, Alex was his girlfriend. She was killed right very soon after he became Green Lantern. Yeah, that was something. And I like this segment. The creators gives us a glimpse, of what happened in yesteryear that they dated. So this is nice to see, right? And he still has feelings for her, it seems, even after so much time. And then he says, I'm Kyle Rayner. I'm a Green Lantern. I'm part of the Green Lantern Corps. Now, since this is in modern day comics, I like Simon Bass. I like Jessica Cruz. I do not like this abomination, whoever she is, with the weird haircut and the smug attitude. This person shouldn't be a Green Lantern, in my opinion. And there's also an underage kid lantern or something. I don't know what they're doing. They need to stop with this crap. I mean, how many human lanterns do we need to have, right? How many protectors of the earth do we need? I mean, normally every Green Lantern has only one segment of the universe to protect. And now I don't know how many Green Lanterns of Earth are there. Anyway, where I come from, Batman was broken, but he healed. Superman returned. And he talks about time traveling and about universes, right? And Donna says, I trust him. Maybe he can actually help us. And she called him Wonder Woman. Yeah, that's me. I took on the job. But then a voice. It's not good. So we have Obsidian. And Obsidian, of course, doesn't know him, but Kyle says, hey, I know your sister. Yeah, he had also a relationship with his sister, Jade, who is also Green Lantern, has powers because, Alan Scott is their father. Let's not go into that. So he explains that he's going to the corners of the universe in time and space, and that reality is being erased left and right. And we see all these heroes from yesteryear like Jonah Hex and the Shining Knight and the Justice Society of America, and they try to battle whatever it is that erasing them, but in the end they all been gone. And they said, how do you prevail against oblivion itself? Right? And then also in the future it's happened, and then we see old school Legion of Superheroes. This is where I grew up with with Mon-El and Colossal Boy and Sun Boy, Dream Girl, etc. And then we see here the Fatal Five escaping. Pretty cool. Again, cool panel layout. I mean, Obsidian's cloak is being used as a way to describe the flow of the story. We see Apocalypse, old school Darkseid is getting erased, and it's coming to this reality as well. And they don't know what to do. Kyle says, I don't have any answers, but there aren't many limits to what this ring can do. I'm with you if you have me, Donna. Don't believe anything the stranger says. He's the cause of this, and he needs to be eliminated. So, this is Hal Jordan, PARALLAX. I made a video about how he became PARALLAX, by the way. Cyborg, Superman, and Mongol destroyed Coast City, and he became crazy, and he killed the Green Lantern Corps, fought Sinestro, broke Sinestro's neck, flew into the battery on Oa, and absorbed all the power of the Oan battery and became the being that you see before you, PARALLAX. there is something about this though. So they say, who is that? Hal Jordan. He was a Green Lantern. He was the Green Lantern. And they became PARALLAX after Coast City was destroyed, tried to reshape the entire universe and its timeline as a way to restore the city. He says, begin to understand what's going on. All right, Paul Pelletier is taking over as an artist. He says, is this really you? I don't know how this version of you is still alive and how you made your warp vision into reality, but it doesn't really matter because it's dying, isn't it? So this is not the real Hal, because the real Hal, became the Spectre, redeemed himself and became Hal Jordan again, and Hal Jordan became the greatest Green Lantern of all time again. So I wonder, hey, who is this then, right? Because this is in modern day. This is not in the 90s, which this really feels like a 90s book. The flow of the story, how it's been told, all these creators that are being involved, this doesn't feel like a modern comic, which is great, but also sad at the same time, because I'm a 90s guy, right? I really like what's happening, all these comics in there, but it also reminds me, and I don't want to sound nostalgic or something, but we lost we lost a lot when it comes to what comics is nowadays, when it comes to Marvel and DC. This is not what you see in DC Comics anymore. This is a one-time thing you see, because at the end of the day, after this book, I don't think all of these creators are being hired by DC again to say, hey, you know what? This was a success. Let's make more Green Lantern books. Let's make more Justice Society books with all of these creators. No, this is a one-time deal. That's what makes this book so special. It's not the best. I mean, the story at best and at the end is okay, but it's fun to see all these characters again. And it's just that. All right, let's yapping more, moving on with the story. Anyway, is that you in here, Hal? Or how much is you and how much is the fear entity? Yes, a little bit more nostalgic and recap. Once upon a time, the Green Lanterns had a weakness, and the weakness, it was the color yellow. Yeah, don't ask, I know it's silly, but in the 90s they explained that was an entity called PARALLAX was trapped or imprisoned in the central battery, and that is what caused the yellow weakness. Well, Hal flew into the battery, absorbed its power. It also absorbs the fear entity. The fear entity was also released and became, along with other Spectrums like the Red Lanterns, the Fear Lanterns, where Sinestro became the leader of, etc., etc. I'm not going really into that, but that's basically the PARALLAX entity was influencing Hal Jordan, his actions, and etc. This is the whole story behind it. Anyway, so he says, I will save this reality. Now give me the ring. Give me what I need to save this reality, to save all of you. This doesn't have to end. I just need more power to make everything right, to make everything whole. Anyway, so it seems that he used all of his powers to have this reality in check, and now that his powers is depleting, the Oblivion wave comes and erasing reality in this pocket dimension. That's what it is. So, all right, so there is a fight between PARALLAX and Hal, right? And it looks great. And he says, I will have that ring. Yeah, well, come and get it. There's still time before it runs down to 0. Not much, but maybe enough. All right, so the Fearsome Five comes in, and you might think, hey, this guy with an axe, what chance do he has? Well, his axe can split atoms. It's that sharp. So yeah, he's Manus here has a hand that can disintegrate everything. We have, of course, the orb by the Emerald Empress that can do a lot of things, magic. And we have, of course, Validus and Farrokh here, and you see what they can do. So Obsidian comes with, Guy Gardner, Connor Hawke, and Jack Knight, who's Starman. Fighting time, right? It's classic heroes fight against evil. But then we also see this. So Supergirl goes to Lex Luthor for help, or find a way. Now, like I said, there's some Easter eggs in here, and I looked up on other people's reviews and what they think about it. So it seems that a lot of think that this is actually Matrix. And what I mean by that is Matrix, Supergirl, has had a fling with Lex Luthor. She had her own series, and Matrix came from a dying reality where the old school Kryptonians, 3 of them, General Zod, has killed all of planet Earth except for a couple of few humans. So Matrix come to our reality, asked Superman for help. Superman was basically powerless against the full power of the Kryptonians, and then he killed them by exposing them to kryptonite, and that was really a thing. So yeah, so it's nice to see this, but I'm not sure if this really is Matrix, but there is some theories about that. A little bit of a DC history here. Okay, fighting time. So this is some arguing between each other, because one time is for Kyle and the other one, hey, let PARALLAX win, and then maybe we can save this universe. I mean, Superman is against Kyle here. Well, Starman is trying to help him. But then the Oblivion wave comes in, and then we go to this particular floating thing here, and then Howard Porter's art is presented here. Now, Howard Porter's art, I'm a big fan of his older work, especially with the GSA, the Justice League. The Justice League of America. But I heard he damaged his hand, and although his art is still good, it's rough at the times. So this guy is called Invisible Boy. So when reality starts to collapse, he try to follow them and try to help from within, and he can turn invisible. So some of them might think, hey, he's a coward leaving his teammates behind, but it was a doomed reality after all, or doomed timeline. So, and he sees that something is behind this door. So he tried to open this up, and then the reality waves comes in, and people are starting to panic. They still try to kill each other, but PARALLAX says, enough, get me that ring. Right? But, it's too late, although they still try to kill it. Well, the heroes. PARALLAX comes in and he says, we're running out of time, Farrokh. Empress Validus, it's time to unleash your might as you never have before. So they are barraging Kyle here with all of their power, and he has a shield, but it's too strong, and the shield's collapsed, and then he's been taken out. PARALLAX takes the ring and he says, is it possible this is a positive? If PARALLAX can save this place, Lex certainly thinks so, but it's suspected it comes with a price. Think what you want. I will save this world and rebuild it. This time, though, without the likes of you. Uh-oh. So they are still screwed. Fueled by his ring, as the living embodiment of the central power be, I can magnify its power 1,000,000 times over. I'm now more powerful than ever, even I consider possible. Is it? I mean, is a ring really that catalyst to enhance your power 1,000,000-fold? That sounds a little bit weird. I mean, you already have the power of a god somewhat. This ring, it's not that powerful, to be honest. Okay, but anyway, so what does he do? He says, all I have to do is take the destructive force that was about to annihilate everything we hold dear, and then he throws it into the real universe. Well, it's attacking, this universe, Kyle comes from, right? The original one. And then that's being erased. And then he says, I'm saving this reality, and only this reality, this pocket dimension, will survive. All right. So more arguing here about, hey, what are we going to do? He says, those are billions upon billions of lives you're talking about. I mean, this universe is small, self-contained. It's a tiny splinterverse. But then it says, hey, do you want to erase our timeline for yours? That's exactly what he's saying. I feel a connection to you in this world, maybe because I haven't screwed up here, but it's our only choice to save both worlds. All right, so Invisible Boy opens up and, oh no, it's Wave Rider. Wave Rider's been captured, by PARALLAX because he's a time traveler and he's a threat to PARALLAX. And he says, so this was set in the 0 hour event. Hal Jordan was defeated. The timeline was reborn. Everything was, set right. But then when the timeline was reconnecting itself, somehow a splinter or a clone or another aspect of PARALLAX divided himself from the original, hid into the time stream, created a pocket universe, and became a god and restored Coast City, as was his wish all along. A place where the strongest wouldn't challenge him. He says, all hidden in a segment of the time stream that no outsider was supposed to find. Until recently, this PARALLAX believed it to be the one true timeline and only universe in existence. Or at least until I discovered it and came to investigate, whereupon he imprisoned me in the stasis chains. All right, so he's been freed and they are, going to save the day, I guess, right? So they are going to this pocket universe. Meanwhile, we have also a fight between Guy Gardner because Guy Gardner doesn't want to die, right? And then Donna comes in and she tried to, explain that we need to work together and to survive, but yeah, it just doesn't work. He says, I wish you could see my world. Clark lived, Bruce recovered. They set the bar for all of us. They'd be the first to say they would let billions die in order to save hundreds. Lies and exaggeration. We must act to save our world, past, present, and future. I know it's hard to accept, but I come from a multiverse with trillions of life force. Its destruction has already started. People are dying, and it will continue until it's gone. All of it. No way, Greenie, you're wrong. Kyle Rayner speaks the truth. So Wave Rider and Invisible Boy comes in, explaining it all, right? And they come to the conclusion that they, need to go. Except for the Fatal Five. They don't want to die, right? So more fighting. And it looks cool, right? I like that. Superman, Batgirl, Wonder Woman, or Donna Troy here. And Hal Jordan's been taken out, and he says, you think you won? You haven't. As long as I have the ring. But then Kyle takes over the ring, and Hal is depowering again, and then the Oblivion wave comes in, and somehow they think they can fight the structural energy wave. Of course they don't. They cannot do it. Kyle, we need to talk. Later, once we're done with it. Now, we know this is it. The end. When that time comes, we want to have our lives to have had meaning. We want to be remembered. This isn't your home. You need to sacrifice yourself. Be safe. Leave. Go home and carry our memories with you so I know we mattered. But he says, no, I will save you. I tried to do everything. But then they all dive into this energy wave and they're all gone. So Wave Rider takes Kyle and he says, this is a construction of shadows. The result is an errant vision with anomalies that was never meant to be. Take me back, Wave Rider. I can do nothing as weakened as I am. Fortunately, I was able to get us out. So he says, and they are back on this planet again. You give up that easily? Donna Troy's world was the wisp of a dream that carried on the wind that eventually gave way to stillness. Years ago, Hal Jordan resorted to the scheme because the PARALLAX entity took his soul in a time of mourning. Thanks to us, as well as many others, that dream didn't become a reality. Fortunately, Hal fought the entity, beat it, and recovered. But for Donna and her universe, no matter what you call it or how you think about it, they were living beings, and now they're gone. Your pain is understandable, says Wave Rider, but they were aberration that could not live on. And then Kyle flies off. I don't care what he says. There must be a way. This one will eat at me for a long time. But then a voice. Go, leave, forget the destruction. Soon you will come to know that you made a mistake that will haunt you. You might think you put reality in its proper place. What you really done, however, is free me. So this is the parallax entity, free, but does that mean there is now 2 parallax entities? I don't know, man. I don't know. But, you know, it leaves open to a lot of speculation if this is going to continue or not. We have some pinups, which I really like. And here and here. And I believe this is the most fun one. The Holy Trinity of this pocket universe. I wouldn't mind seeing a comic book, you know, with these 3 in it. And then if you want to pause the video and read this, here you go. So what do I think about it? Well, like I said, this is a nostalgic trip to memory lane. And it's really good. It's fun. It's not the best story or whatever, but it's a nice, you know, addition to the 0 Hour event. And I wish they made it in the 90s, but on the other hand, it feels like a 90s comics. So for, like I said, if you are a big fan of what happened, you know, at the 0 Hour time, and you like 90s comics, this is for you. All right, guys, let me know in the comments what you think about this. It was a long one, I'm sorry, but 80 pages, right? See you next time. Bye-bye.